Hi guys, welcome to another crochet tutorial with me, Laura, and the fourth and final festive granny square. So far we've had the Snowflake Granny Square, we've had the Father Christmas Santa Face Granny Square, and last time I showed you how to do my little mini C2C Christmas Tree Granny Square. These are all the same size, and I asked for your suggestions on what to make for the fourth one so we could have a little set, and the winner came in for a snowman square. So here we are, here's our little snowman granny square, and again it'll fit with all the other squares. And so in this video I'm going to show you how to make him. Okay, so for this granny square we're going to be using some DK light worsted weight yarn, so the same weight yarn we've used for all the other squares. This is a yarn weight of 3, and we're going to need quite a few colours. We're going to need a white obviously for our snow, we're going to need some black for his hat and his facial features, a tiny little bit of orange for his little carrot nose, and a background colour. So you can use any colour that you like for the background. I chose a blue, a sort of sky blue colour, and you don't have to at all, you could just have a round face, but I added this little white body part and I gave him sort of like a little bit of a scarf, so a scarf colour as well, and I chose red. And with that we've been using a 4mm G crochet hook. Okay, it's also a good idea to have a pair of scissors and a yarn needle as well. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to start with the white first. Let's take our white yarn. Okay, so we're going to start off with our white yarn, and the first thing I'm going to do is a 4 chain loop. So we'll do our slip knot first, little slip knot, and we're going to chain 4. Okay, so chain 1, 2, 3 and 4. So chain 4, and we're going to put our hook into our first chain. Find your first chain, so hopefully you can see the white on camera. Hook into the first chain, bring the yarn through the first chain and straight through the loop on your hook to do a slip stitch, and then you've got a little loop for your 4 chains, and in the middle is a hole. Don't confuse it with your first chain hole, but can look quite big. And in there we're going to do 10 half double crochets. So this pattern's in US terminology, so in UK terminology it's a half treble. So we're going to yarn over, put our hook into the middle, bring the yarn through the middle, then just wrapping it around the chains, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. We're going to do 10 of those. So back into the middle, pull through all 3, 2, yarn over, back into the middle, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and squeeze another one in. Let's move those over. 10. So we've got 10 half double crochets in our 4 chain loops, so you should be able to, if you worked into the middle, you should actually be able to bring in that hole like a magic circle. It should come in a little bit. Then what we're going to do, we're going to slip stitch into our first half double crochet. So find your first stitch and slip stitch into there. Okay, so that's the end of round 1. Now what we're going to do is round 2. So we're going to chain 1, don't count that as a stitch, just do that for leverage. And in the same stitch we just slip stitched into, we're going to do 2 double crochet. So in UK terminology that's a treble. So yarn over, go back into the same stitch you just slip stitched into and do 2 double crochet. So it's 1 and another one in the same stitch, 2. Okay, then what we're going to do in the next 2 stitches only, so the next 2, we're just going to work into the back loop only. So normally we work under 2 loops, this little V shape, but we're only going to work under the back loop. So yarn over. So instead of working under both loops, we're going to work under just the back loop, and in there we're going to do 2 double crochet. So 1 and 2. I'm going to do the same in the next stitch as well. So again, instead of working under both loops, find the back loop and just work under there. Do 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. Okay, and those little skipped front loops we're going to use for the nose. And then we're just going to work into our stitches normally. So go into both stitches and do 2 double crochet, and we're going to do 2 double crochet in each stitch around back to the beginning. So we end up with a stitch count of 20. Okay, so 2, the next stitch. So just work into them normally now. 2 double crochet in the next stitch as well, back to the beginning. Okay, nearly back at the beginning. Still doing 2 double crochet in each stitch around. So the last stitch is there, 2 double crochet in there. And then check your stitch count is 20. We're going to slip stitch into our first double crochet. So skip that chain 1 and just slip stitch into that first double crochet to join the round. So you should have a stitch count of 20. Okay, your first one will always look like 2 because you look like you got a stitch on top of the other. That's 1 stitch. So check you got a stitch count of 20. And what we're going to do is just going to bring up a loop. We're going to stop there. We're going to get our orange, and we're just going to do the nose now. The reason we do it now is so we can make sure everything's lining up properly. So get yourself some orange, a little bit of orange yarn, and we're going to put our hook into the first skipped front loop. So just after the beginning of your round, these are your little 2 skipped front loops, 1 and 2. So in this first one here, put your hook into there and join your orange yarn. And just secure it with a chain 1, but don't count that as a stitch, just secure that, keeps it in place. Then what we're going to do, we're going to chain 3 from there, so chain 1, 2 and 3, chain 3, and in the second chain from our hooks, we don't count the loop on a hook. There's our first, there's our second. In there, we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay. Then in the next chain, we're going to do a single crochet. So in UK terminology, that's a double crochet. It's just a single crochet. And that creates a little triangle. Then what we're going to do is we're going to find our next skipped front loop. We come from this side, we're just going to slip stitch into there, bring the yarn through. And sorry if you hear coughing in the background, my little girl's a bit poorly at the moment, so I do apologise. Okay, just slip stitch into there. Then what we're going to do, we're going to cut our yarn. And then just pull that through. Then we're going to get our yarn needle and we're going to secure these on the back. And not drop your yarn needle. So let's thread that tail end on. So that's the one at the top. I'm just going to thread through there. Do the same for the other one. Pull those nice and tight and turn your work over. And you can either hide your tail ends, sew them in, or I'm just going to tie them in a knot on the back, in a double knot. And trim the excess. So you might want to hide your tail ends, it's entirely up to you. But I'm just going to tie them for the sake of this video. And I'm going to cut down that beginning tail end as well, before it starts getting in the way. Okay, so hopefully you've got something that looks like this. My camera wants to focus. And what we're going to do now, we're going to carry on with our whites. Put your hook back into your loop and we're going to move on to the third round. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is going to do a little chain 1. Again, don't count that as a stitch. And in the same stitch you just slip stitched into, we're going to do 1 double crochet, or treble in UK terminology. So do 1 double crochet in there. Then in the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochet. So 1 and another one in the same stitch. Okay, and we're going to repeat that 3 more times. So in the next stitch we do 1 double crochet, just the one. Next stitch 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Repeat that twice more, 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. And do that once more, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So 1 double crochet in the next stitch, just the one. And then we're going to work just into our back loops again like we did for the nose. So, and we're going to start off with 2 double crochets. So in the next stitch, instead of working through both loops, we want to just work in the back loop. Do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Okay, just in the back loop. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next back loop. So again, just in the back loop, do 1 double crochet. I'm going to repeat that twice more. So in the next back loop only, do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Then in the next back loop only, do 1 double crochet. Okay, so do that once more. Next back loop, 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Next back loop, just 1 double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next back loop. So just the back loop only, do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. And then we're going to just work into our stitches normally to the end. So for the last 4 stitches, we're going to do, just work into it normally now, do 1 double crochet in there. Next stitch, 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. So we're just working into it normally. Then 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Then last stitch, 2 double crochet. Okay. 1 and 2. Then we slip stitch into our first double crochet that we did. Slip stitch into there. Okay, and again we're going to bring up a loop. So hopefully you got something that looks like that. Okay, so you should have skipped 7 stitches up the top here. So you should have 7 front loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this first one that you skipped, this first front loop here, we're going to join our black yarn, or whatever colour you want to do is hat. So get some black yarn, and we're going to join it the same way we join the orange. Just bring that through, secure with a chain 1, but don't count that as a stitch, just tightens it on. And in that first front loop we're going to do 2 double crochet. So go back into there, that first one, do 2 double crochet. So I'm sorry this is black, hopefully you can get the gist of what I'm doing. So 2 double crochet in there. Then in the next front loop we're going to do 1 double crochet. So find your next front loop and just do the 1. Okay, and we're going to repeat that twice more. So next front loop, do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Then in the next front loop, just the 1 double crochet. Then in the next front loop, 2 double crochet. Then next front loop, just the 1 double crochet. Okay, so that should leave you with 1 front loop left, and in that last one we're going to do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Okay, then what we're going to do, so you shouldn't have any more after that, we're going to do a little chain 1, don't count that as a stitch, and turn, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 3 stitches. So go into the first stitch, do a little slip stitch, okay, then a slip stitch in the next stitch, and slip stitch in the next stitch. Okay, then what we're going to do, we're going to do a little chain 1 just for a little bit of leverage, and then in the same stitch, this same one you just slip stitched into, this third one, we're going to do 1 double crochet. So go back into that one you just slip stitched into, do 1 double crochet. I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch as well. Then the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochet, 1 and another one in the same stitch. Okay, so you've got 2 in there, and we're going to repeat that once more. So 1 double crochet in the next stitch, just the 1 double crochet in the next stitch, then 2 double crochet, 1 and another one in the same stitch. So you've got 2 in there, 2, and then we're going to skip the last 3 stitches. You should have 3 stitches left. I'm going to skip those, and we're going to chain 1, don't count that as a stitch, and turn. I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the first 3. Let's go straight into the first stitch, do a double crochet, then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So in the first 3 stitches. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 and another one in the same stitch, 2. Okay, so you've got 2 in there. Then repeat that, so 1 double crochet in the next 3, 1 double crochet, then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, then you should have 1 stitch left, you can barely see it, 2 double crochet in there, 1 and 2. I just feel around for it. And there we go, that's his hat finish. So you can cut your yarn there, finish with the black for now on the hat, and pull that through. Then we're going to hide our tail ends for the black. So I'm just going to sew these ones. And okay, so now we're going to move on to the next round, and yeah, so let's do that. Okay, so moving on to the next round. For this whole round we're just going to work into our back loops only, and you can see them sticking out here because I made a mistake. I worked with the white to begin, but we actually want to work with our scarf colour. So pick up your scarf colour, and if you've got a lot of patience you could actually alternate each stitch with a different colour and have a stripy scarf, but I've just kept mine a plain red. So I'm just going to get my red yarn, and I'm going to just join that in a little chain 1, which we're not going to count as a stitch. And then working into the back loops only again, the first back loop, which is the same stitch you just slip stitched into, instead of going through both loops, just working into the back loop. We're going to do that for the whole round, and in there we're going to do 1 double crochet, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next back loop. Okay, so you're leaving these front loops clear, and it just makes the face stand out more. Then in the next back loop we're doing 2 double crochet. Okay, we're going to repeat that pattern. So next back loop only, do 1 double crochet, then in the next back loop only do 1 double crochet, Then the next back loop, 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. And then we're going to do 1 more double crochet in the red, but we're going to join our background colour, which in this case is the blue. So in the next back loop we do 1 double crochet, but just before you finish, instead of yarning over with your scarf colour, we're going to pick up our background colour, which for me is blue. So I'm going to yarn over with the blue instead and just pull that red, and then we'll carry on with our pattern. So in the next back loop it was 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochet in the next back loop, and repeat that pattern all the way back to the beginning, just working into the back loops. So it's 1 double crochet in the next back loop, 1 double crochet in the next back loop, 1, 2, then 2 double crochet in the next back loop, 1 and 2. Okay, 1, 1, 2, and repeat that. So 1, 1, 2. You might have to just fold over his hat when you work into these stitches. Sorry, Mr. Snowman. Then the very last stitch, 2 double crochet. Okay, so you should end on 2 double crochet, still working into just the back loops, because then that'll get you a smoother circle. You can see all these skipped front loops, makes the circle stand out. Okay, then we're going to slip stitch into our first red double crochet, but we're going to pick up the white. So our whites should just be below, slip stitch, oops, to join. So just pull blue, and now we're working with our white again. And now what we're going to do is start off with a little chain 1 and start turning this into a square now. So we're going to do 1 double crochet in the same stitch we just slip stitched into. So go back into there and do 1 double crochet, and then we're going to do 1/2 double crochet, so that's half trebles in UK terminology, in the next 7. So in the next stitch, we're just working into stitches normally now as well, going onto both loops. Do 1/2 double crochet in the next 7, so that's 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, next stitch, 4, next stitch, 5. On this 5th one, instead of yarning over with the white, I'm going to drop the white and pick up the red. You don't have to, but I'm just going to add a little bit extra for our scarf. This is on the 5th one, so just make sure to yarn over on that 5th one with your scarf colour. Then in the next 2 stitches, 6 and 7, we're going to do the red instead. I'm going to carry that white by just keeping the yarn on top of our hook. We can carry it. So number 6 is in red, and number 7, these are all half double crochets, is in red as well. But instead of yarning over with the red, it's going to rejoin the white. So we've done 1 double crochet, then we did 1/2 double crochet in the next 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I did the last 2 in red. Then I'm going just to do 1 double crochet in the white in the next stitch. Okay, so a double crochet, but at the end of this double crochet we're going to join the blue. Okay, where is our blue? So our blue is all the way over here. So you may want to cut and rejoin. So when you finish that double crochet, yarn over with the blue. Okay, just pull that so it's not doing this distortion. There we go. And now what we're going to do is in the next stitch, so So we can, I've finished with our red now, so I'm going to cut our red. Let's get rid of that out of the equation. So we've finished with our scarf colour. In the next stitch we're going to do 1 double crochet. So in the next stitch do 1 double crochet, chain 3, then 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, so this is turning it into a square. And then we're going to repeat that pattern all the way to the end. So now we can just keep our blue, we don't need to change colour. And we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch, double crochet, then 1 half double crochet in the next 7. So these are half double crochets. 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3, next stitch 4, next stitch 5, next stitch 6, and next stitch 7. Okay, so 1 half double crochet in the next 7. Then we do 1 double crochet in the next stitch, double crochet, and then our corner we do 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, and then we just repeat that. So 1 double crochet in the next stitch, then 1 half double crochet in the next 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 1 double crochet, then our corner of 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, then one more time, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, then 1 half double crochet in the next 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Then very last stitch, 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and then we slip stitch in our first double crochet, find that first double crochet, and slip stitch, and we'll slip stitch with the white. So I'm just going to bring that over from here. You may want to just rejoin properly, so rejoin the white in that slip stitch. Okay, so that's the end of that round, and then we're just going to move on to one more round, and then he's finished. Bar some eyes. So for the last round we're going to chain 1 to begin, then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the first 10 stitches. So go back into the same stitch you just slip stitched into and do a double crochet, and do that in the first 10. So that's 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3, next stitch 4, next stitch 5, next stitch 6, 7, 8, 9. Then the 10th one here, before you finish the stitch, we're going to yarn over with the blue. So pick up your blue, and I'm just going to yarn over with the blue. finish that stitch. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do, in this 3 chain space, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet, all in that 3 chain space. Okay, and then we're going to do, just repeat that to the end. We're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 11 this time. Next 11, so don't miss that very first stitch there. Do 1 double crochet in there, do it in the next 11, so that's 1, next stitch, 2, 3, just basically takes you up to the next corner, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, then when you get to your next 3 chain space, we do 1 double crochet in there, chain 3, 1 double crochet, all in the 3 chain space, and then do the same thing again, 1 double crochet in the next 11. Careful not to miss this very first stitch. Okay, so repeat that all the way to the end, just doing 1 double crochet in the next 11, and in the 3 chain space do 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet. Okay, back to the beginning. 11, so I'm up to the last corner. My batch is running out, I have to change batches. Then in that last 3 chain space, do 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet. But then you've also got this last double crochet here, so just in there we do 1 double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch into our first double crochet to join, and that's it. Then we cut our yarn. And then just pull that through, and then I'm going to hide all these tail ends. So I've been carrying a lot of yarn here, so I'm actually going to be very naughty, and I'm just going to cut those down the middle. That. So I'll release it open, and then I'm going to sew in all these tail ends to make it nice and neat. I'll just show you the first one. This one here. All I'm going to do is sew to the back, turn it over, sew through similar colours as neatly as you can, in one way, one direction, back in the opposite direction, and just trim down the excess. Okay, so I'm going to do that for all these other tail ends, and then we'll come and make him a little face, and then he's done. Okay, so I've tied in all my tail ends, and what I'm going to do now is just add a little face, just like this guy here. And so I'm going to get my yarn needle. You just need a short length of your black yarn. We're going to sew in the face, so do some little eyes somehow. Where did I do that one? So start about there. Go up a little bit. I'm going to get over that stitch, back over, come down, up. Okay, so that's one of his eyes, and just work out where his next eye is going to go. Make it very slightly smaller, because it's as if he's looking slightly sideways. I'm sure you can do a better job than me. Okay, and then a little mouth, nice and simple. So just to where the edge of the nose is. Then you can just follow the stitches, which is nice and easy. And then maybe just slightly just up there. How's that? So we see how that looks. There we go. I think that looks alright. It looks quite cheeky. So then we just need to hide these tail ends. So I'm just, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to tie it on the back. And I'm sure you can do a neater job, as I always say. Because my battery is running out. And then just trim that down. And we're done. And there we go. There is our last and final festive granny square. So these guys can go together. And like I said, I've got all my other granny squares as well. There's a mini C2C Christmas tree. And there's a Father Christmas face. And there is a snowflake as well. So you can mix and match all of these and turn it into a cushion cover or a blanket or even bunting or even really funky placemats for the festive table. So it's entirely up to you, but I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Hope you managed to follow along. I'll see you soon for some more crochet fun. I think this is going to be my last video before Christmas. I think, yep. If you want to know how to join these squares, I've done a couple of tutorials on 2 different ways of connecting squares. I'll put links to those in the description below. And yeah, but I'll see you soon, real soon, for some more crochet, crafting, unboxing fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.